Okay, good evening. Doing our Sundays a little bit differently. I'm so excited for it. My computer, usually we do everything on Ashley's computer. My computer is such a different camera setting. I'm used to a much different lighting, and it's quite a bright, there we go, sunny day. I was gonna say it shouldn't look so dark. Okay, so hi everybody, welcome. I'm gonna give everybody a moment or two to trickle in. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about what we're going to be doing today. And that is our second teaching into my understandings of the practical applications of Reiki, as well as, again, the spiritual side of it too, and the history and the meanings behind the symbols are very beautiful and just have a great origin story to them. And I'm happy to share some of that with you today, as well as go over how I've been able to use different tips and techniques over the years to heal some injuries that at the time I was told these are permanent, there's nothing that can be done except it. And what's beautiful about the Seihei symbol, show it to you here. This is for level 2 attunements if you are going through the Reiki training. And this symbol is given power when the Reiki teacher teaches it or imbues it into the student. And what this symbol does when it is used, what it represents, its meaning is to bring harmony. And this symbol specifically targets, or the intention behind the symbol is to target the mental and emotional balance. And a lot of this comes into that subconscious, conscious, your physical and mental aspects. And what this does is it brings balance, it brings harmony to all these trace elements inside you. The meaning behind the term Seihei means the earth and sky meet, or it can also be translated into when God and man become one. And what ends up happening when you are able to bring balance, you are able to put your body into that relaxed state of being, and it takes it out of that super stressed, intense fight or flight state. And the truth is that if we are, for any reason, locked into fight or flight, or it's something that comes up often, uh, speaking as my understanding of what causes the body, physical ailments and issues are highly motivated behind the stress of being stuck in a situation where your body is actually convinced that you are going to die, between now and next Wednesday. Be it if you are actually giving a speech or if you are actually sick and ill. And here's the thing, that's the fractal in it, is once it thinks it's dying, it's going to adapt to that mindset that I am in danger or I am dying. And then that becomes your throat chakra, third eye, and crown, what you end up releasing and manifesting. When we are off balance, what causes this to happen is we either mentally can't focus on the moment because we're just so in our heads, always ruminating about stupid shit that you can't do anything about. And that at the end of the day, you know you need to let go of. And then there's the physical element. As I said, that if you are too far one way, you then end up with physical ailments, migraines, high blood pressure, autoimmune diseases are caused by your body being in this like super hyper state of stress. So when we bring balance to these two extremes and it works in unison, your mind, which is what you're going to be focused on using to heal yourself if you're going through any type of major trauma, physical ailments, what you need to be cured. You really need to go into it with the mindset that what you think is going to happen is in fact what's going to happen. They have done scientific studies on this and it's been proven to be accurate. So it's focused on what you tell yourself. So if you tell yourself you're going to get better, you're going to get better. If you tell yourself that the doctor's right, I am doomed 5 months to live, then your body will adapt to it. And being aware, finding balance in the sense is being aware of the fact that we talk to ourselves in this manner. We get really, really dramatic and we get really focused on the negative, and it's programmed into us through traditional soap operas, through movies and travesties and horror films and plot twists and whatever, and then we start to think and adapt all this extra bullshit into our life that actually doesn't need to be there. And being aware that we are doing it to ourselves, it lets us be conscious of when we can use those affirmations, when we make affirmations about our positive mindsets. I am so happy, actually, this brought me another. Warm cider. I'm getting very sidetracked. That is wonderful. It's when we notice that we're doing a bad habit. Think of like chewing with your mouth open. When you notice and are conscious, oh, geez, I'm doing it right now, you then have the power to stop. Bringing balance to your physical and your mental is exactly that. Is you are mentally aware of what you are physically doing, and you are physically aware of what your mind is feeling, be it pain, be it I believe fibromyalgia has been linked to this as well, just being under super high rates of stress. And we, yeah, as I go on a loop there, we're programmed to think this way. So it's really good to be mindful of it. It's really good to be conscious of it. It's really good to, this topic came up a little bit as well, have really bad days, really bad experiences, be it plant medicine bad experiences or just physical bad experiences, days that you can be alert and be that observer and track the data and see what's happening, where the actual issue is. And once you do that, you can step out of your own way and it eases the tension. Talking a little bit about the concept behind being able to replace negative energies with positive ones. and aligning the physical conscious and subconscious. This being able to bring our awareness to our bodies and actions, this also helps us pick out those negative behavioral patterns as well. This is when we notice um, that we want to smoke, or you're having a craving addiction for food or for something physical need. It doesn't specifically have to be pain or something immediately that you would identify as being negative. This is why we don't mentally notice it when it's happening to us unless we're tracking the data and paying attention. Um, we become aware of our body telling us what it needs and what it wants. And this allows us to address its needs on a very physical level. It could be food, it could be sunlight, it could be like literally relaxing on a beach or doing a vacation thing. It literally wants to just feel like safe and comfy, cozy, swaddled in its little comfy blanket, and again, okay, people will argue, okay, I'll just sleep in. This is where the balance comes in. You want to make sure that things like self-care, physical actions that you can take to help heal and bring balance to these negative areas of your life, being it pain, cravings, addictions, bad emotional triggers. You, yeah, I'm just going to be very honest. I very much lost my train of thought there. I lost my balance. You become aware of what the actions you can do and take that will help. And this is also how you problem solve solutions in your life, too. Okay, let's chain it all together. An example I got from a chakra analysis. You meticulously ruminate on finances. You're always broke. You're always fucking cursed. And dad was broken. Grandpa was broken. This, that, and the other. And this bitch took my money. And this guy never paid me back for blah, 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 blah bullshit, right? So your body starts to feel in a state of like, oh my God, if I don't have this money, I'm not going to be able to eat. I'm not going to be able to, blah, 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 I'm going to die. Right? So then you start to get physical symptoms, pain, and you can take Advil, you can take psilocybin, you can take anything you want for the pain, but the pain's always going to be there until you address that financial piece. And you can address your mindset issue around, okay, this financial debt or whatever the situation might be isn't so bad. So you can ease your pain off a little bit. But the real trick is, and I've had this with stress rashes as well, and different really high points in my life, that you really have to have a solution for what you can physically do to make yourself feel better about that situation. And it's not even specifically about being able to solve the situation. It's that when you are physically doing something, putting the effort, the energy into it, um, you feel like you are in control. And even if that's all you can do is make a phone call to confirm, yes, you're very much in debt and you are out of time to pay it. Um, I've been there from past experiences. I'm using this as one of the examples of how I got through it. And sometimes knowing that you've already put all your safeguards in place takes that stress and that pressure off. It removes you from feeling like you're gonna friggin' die in that situation. It gives you that beach experience because you've physically done something. And then you get into the magic behind it, the whole metaphysics of the universe being, I always picture it, millions of little tiny clock cogs all moving and spinning together. And when this one goes faster, that it turns everything else over here. And then it makes the events of bringing what you want into reality a reality. And, I've seen it with healing, I've seen it with relationships, I've seen it with really, really crazy situations that, people get you thinking it's hopeless. There's nothing you can do. And it comes to finding that balance. And so, from a Reiki standpoint, if you are in situations like that and you are being Reiki treated, or if you're going through your attunements, this is going to be a very good attunement. The level 2C. Hey, take a gander at my notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to cover. I have a little bit of time. So one thing that's been frustrating for me once I figured out some of these tricks here was seeing how hopeless some people thought I was, because that's how hopeless I had convinced myself the situations were. And I'm finding the more that I heal, the greater the dissonance between people who know the old you and they see the new you, and they're very confused. And then they think that you're almost gaslighting them, that you've been faking it this whole time, that you had all these problems and you're sick and pain and blah, 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 blah. And then you figure out how to actually make yourself feel better and solve these situations and solutions. And then you heal, and they just get confused by the process of having that full 180-degree turnaround. And I've had a few points where I really thought that I was going to be stuck with certain pains and issues for the rest of my life. I was told by a few doctors that I've had a lot of shoulder dislocations, and that the pain that I experience, the fact that I can't really use my left arm because it would literally shift in its socket and be misaligned and be really uncomfortable. And then, yeah, kind of just being sloppy in the joint, half in, half out, being told that you're just like this normal and it's for the rest of your life. So, I went through a lot more shoulder dislocations before I figured out how to heal that. Now, I've had issues with post-concussion syndrome, where I was specifically told that what you've retained for memory and what you've recovered cognitively by this point is going to be it for the rest of your life. Plus, you can degrade and digress and go back to not remember. It was basically like being in a state of Alzheimer's for about 6 to 8 months before it started to pull itself around. It was a very scary time for me. And then being told you're going to be like this probably for the rest of your fucking life. So happy my insurance pays their fucking paycheck. Right? But that's why I'm here. That's why I have people in my life confused as hell, thinking that I'm a fucking demented retard. And then they're seeing me comprise all these goals put together and having all these successes and doing really well for myself. And they're all really confused, like, hey, what the fuck? And, the thing is, if I can do it, you can do it. And I've even had a few points in my life where I had tendonitis. The first time I had it in my arm, right here in my forearm. It was the ligament, the pinky finger, that tendon. And again, that was another one I was told for the rest of your life, you again further can't use your friggin' arm. And, I've always been into athletics. I always loved to climb stuff, scuba diving, friggin' need to jump out of a plane at some point soon before I lose more hair from not enjoying myself in life enough. And got sidetracked. When you're told these things and you make a Toltec agreement, if you watch the Toltec Path to Freedom, they talk about how we make these agreements, like a deal with the devil, a contract with ourselves, that this is fucking reality and this is true, and nothing that you can say or anybody or any hashtag or whatnot can change my beliefs. And then you have an unconditional limited belief, which is about the worst thing that you can possibly come up with for yourself. Limiting beliefs are bad enough. Unconditional beliefs are amazing, but when you have that much devotion towards something, being convinced it's not happening, well, guess what? It's not happening. You're very right. And if you have that kind of commitment towards something, things just seem easier when you stop focusing on the drama and you can just track some data, see things from an observer point of view. You know, you can get out of your own way and you can change your mindset that way. You know, there was another point more recently since COVID, I had really, really bad tendonitis in my right leg. And yeah, my leg was real bad for like 6 months. I didn't think it was going to heal, and it did. I've had I don't actually know what happened to my thumb. I hurt it really, really bad in the joint, and I had very limited movement for like 5 years before I really put time and effort into healing. And the thing is, that's again with the actions. I had to move it. I had to come up with ridiculous exercises and, you know, different tricks of how to move it around. And just like any joint, this is why I'm promoting stretching so much for my chakra fitness. Is when I had this in my back, I find it's really just muscles and joints and everything all balled up and tight, and because we're like all the friggin' time. And my first success at curing myself from headaches was when a few years back. Now, when I realized when I sleep, I like clench my jaw, and all that pressure is causing tension and whatnot. So it's about, again, that bringing balance to your mental state of mind, your perception of the situation, and also being able to relax yourself from a physical point of view as well. And this is just why I love Reiki, because it just makes it easy to explain and get it. And then it's really easy to do once you figure out these tricks. We're about at time. I'm getting all gargly again. If you find any of this helpful, please let us know. You can reach it to me in the Signal group. You can reach out to me at my email, which is in the tags on the video here. You can reach out to Ashley. I have Reiki sessions and services available for anybody interested. As well, we have really amazing programs to help you, again, go through everything that will allow you to heal and really get your perspective on life right, so you can be your best self. And I will see you all on, where's my notes? There it is. Wednesday for chakra fitness. Going to be doing sacral chakra. Lots of bend at the hip moments, bridges. I'm excited. Lots of spinal flexibility. I will see you all very soon. Bye.